they still over there on mute, the whole damn industry. Then
Not mute.
at some point you're probably gonna get. I personally think fame can be intoxicating, and just like money can be. You know, you have a whole lot of money that'll buy
Attention.
you a whole bunch of I would say power, but really more than anything, options. So, you know, you can keep people quiet, you know, shut people up, make them sign those NDAs and make them think that it doesn't matter if a crime has been committed, they still under an NDA and or you know what I'm saying, threaten their family, all the kind of stuff that goes on. So,
NDA. What?
did I say it wrong? Is it called an NDA? I might be saying it wrong. It's those documents that basically say you can't
Nah,
say
we just
anything.
maybe I
Or
wouldn't. I don't know what I
it's
missed.
not called a non-disclosure.
No, no,
What
no,
is
no,
it
no,
called?
no. I'm not arguing that. No. Go ahead.
Oh, it might be called something else, but
Nah,
basically
that's
some
what it's.
sort of
No,
contract.
it's called an NDA. No,
Oh,
right.
okay. But I'm saying if you don't know, and these people got power and control and influence and affluence, it's hard to get around it. But I think Cat Williams told us last year or the year before, he was just kind of like it's up for everybody. So those people that
But
didn't think they're gonna get caught, like I'm wondering still about TD Jakes, Pastor Jakes down here in Texas. I'm like, they seem like they trying to drag his skeletons out if he has some. Mm,
I mean, it's
ain't nobody
human.
safe to me.
It's a common pattern in human nature for us to well, okay. I mean, that's where the whole adage of it's not who you know. I mean, not what you know, but who you know. Because your
Hmm.
skill set or your talents or your whatever, that's not always guaranteed to get you where you trying to go. And
Mm-mm.
especially in like Hollywood and stuff like that, like I feel like it's the good old boy system. You gonna get down or lay down, get with the program, or you can get the hell on up out
Hmm.
of here. That's why you got people like Corey Holcomb that's like, fuck it, I'll just do my own little thing on the side. I don't have to make it in Hollywood because I'm not willing to do the things that they want me to do in order to make it. Because you could be the best actor, the best singer, the best dancer, and you don't get any type of clout or recognition or shine or any opportunities. And we see it every day. You got these people whispering on the track, trying to pretend like they know how to sing all the auto tune and all this other stuff, and they have no
Hmm.
talent, and they get
Hmm.
propelled right to the top. And it's like, what are we doing here? When you got people, that's fine, but that happens everywhere. It
Hmm.
depends on the team that you have around you. Because even like with sports, I know so many athletes personally that I'm like, why are you not in the NBA? And they just didn't have the right team behind them to get them where they're trying to go. If you have the right agent, then yeah,
Hmm.
you can get that job. Or if
Hmm.
your daddy is the producer, like, what I'm saying? Like, it's never been about the talent. It's never been about it. What you said, Drew? Oh, I
Hmm.
don't think he said anything.
I
But
think that's kind of what.
You said it's never about the talent.
rarely.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, because you can have the talent, but if you don't have the
I think
look,
in
you're
sports
not
it
gonna
might be
make it.
different.
If you don't have the look, you're not gonna make it. It don't matter how well you can sing. If you don't look like somebody that I want to date or be, then it's not highly likely you're gonna make it.
Mm. What up, Jet?
Because that's all it is. Like that whole industry, to me, this is my personal opinion. It's about the illusion of me wanting to be you, or me
Hmm.
wanting the fantasy of having your lifestyle or whatever.
Or
Mm.
even you inspiring me in some way. I think music does that for all of us, people that can hear, anyways. It
Mm.
inspires you and it hits
What?
everybody different. You know what I mean?
That was so cold. You said the people that can hear. That's fucked up. That's fucked up.
What did I say?
That's fucked up. I ain't gonna hold you. That's fucked up.
What did
You
I
said
say?
even the people that can hear. That was just like the most disrespectful
Oh
shit.
my God. I did not mean it
If
that
them people
way.
from the hearing aid company come over here, I'm telling them your goddamn name. I ain't bullshitting. You think it's a game?
Okay.
Hell no. Who is it? Oh, it is.
What up, Jet? That's
What,
funny.
what up, little baby?
Yeah, but I mean, looks take you farther than talent, and that's a fact.
Looks, shit. That shit only goes so far. Man, come on, bro. Are you serious? You know how many
I
ugly
agree.
niggas
I
sing
agree with that
and
though.
basketball?
Take you farther than talent.
I agree with that.
Beauty will get you a lot further than talent will. I do agree with that.
You say what? No, it is.
Especially with women. Because
Yeah,
men,
beauty. Go ahead,
sorry, go
Shannon.
ahead. I was gonna say men could be like that Sean Connery. I love me some Sean Connery, rest his soul. But like men could still be an actor at 92 years old. Women after you turn 24, 25, it's like it's a wrap for you.
Nah,
So
that what y'all think. See, you know that's fucked
no,
up.
it's the truth.
You're
It's
right,
true.
LA.
Women
And
in
what
the
you willing to do.
industry,
That right
women in the
there.
oh well,
She
there's
said
probably
it.
that too. Yeah.
The
That shit
looks
is
and what you
cool.
willing to do. It gotta be a combination of the both. Because you can't be
Yeah.
fine with morals. You gotta be willing
It's the
to ride that
sacrifice.
casting couch.
Mhm.
You can be ugly with Nick. It's crazy work.
Oh my God.
Listen,
Y'all a whole mess. And I'm not
Oh shit! Oh them. I'm trying to tell you.
you could be the best actor in the world, but if you ugly as all outdoors, child, don't nobody want to see you on that big screen.
well,
So,
what's it called? Flavor Flay is an exception to that rule. I'm just saying. Go ahead.
flavor.
He's an
what?
artist. He's not a movie actor.
But I'm saying you said
I think it's
talent.
different when you're an artist versus an actor. I think it's a little different.
He's a man. Beauty
Yeah.
standards.
Yeah, that too. And he was a part of a group too.
Well,
Man.
all I'm saying is he's an exception. That's all I'm saying. To me, because he's
There's
nowhere
always going to
near-
be some exceptions
he's
to the
nowhere
rule,
near
of course.
cute. Is all I'm saying. And he
It's
was knocking
always
them
going to be
down on that
exceptions,
show.
but the majority of people that make it in Hollywood, they look good to a certain extent. Like, not saying it ain't no uggles, of course it's some, but you got to balance it out. But for the most part, you got to look a certain type of way.
Man, look,
But men-
remember that day?
Double
I think that's
standard,
more
though. You
for
already
women,
said
though.
that. It's
Hold on.
definitely a double standard.
Hold on. You remember that day we played that video with old girl who sing Paper Planes MIA?
Yeah.
Paper plane.
Remember that? What did
Yeah.
she say? What did she say that Jay-Z had told her? She had to cut her hair a certain way and dress a type of way, right?
Absolutely. They going to do that.
And guess
Hollywood
what?
will make you feel ugly as hell, and you could be the baddest woman ever, and they're gonna be like, "Yeah, but your nose is a little crooked," and like they gonna chop your ass up.
Come on, man. The damn industry made Glorilla get her nose job.
I'm not
They
playing with
get
him
why you think they? All of them do it. All of them do it. You gonna get your
They-
titties done because they
They
gonna
all want.
titties. They gonna
They
say
all
something
want the Janet
being
Jackson nose.
flat.
That's what they
That's
want.
what
Sue. They want the Janet Jackson nose. That's it. All black women want the Janet Jackson nose. I'm trying to tell you.
Janet Jackson nose ain't Janet Jackson nose.
Oh
That's
my
the
God.
thing. Just like Kylie Jenner lip ain't her fucking lips, smart ass. So come on. I know what's going on.
Yeah, they're
Shit.
gonna want to.
Janet Jackson.
Yeah, they're definitely gonna point out some things you're gonna need to change because your image is important. That's like and correct me if I'm wrong, anybody, because I know we got some people in Hollywood in the chat or in the industry. Why you think like it's a formula? That's just like you have to have iconic hair. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have to, but I'm saying like if you really want to stand out, you're gonna have a hair. Why you think Ice Spice been rocking that orange shit for the last 27,000 years? Because
Yeah,
that's her
that's
thing.
right.
Like when you see orange hair, you think of Ice Spice. Like you gotta
No, you
like-
don't.
I don't,
You know what
because I
you
don't
think
know who
of?
that is.
You know what you think of? That girl with the long ponytails. What was her name? Punky Brewster, goddamn. That's what you fucking think about. You don't think
Keep the
of
long stockings.
Pippi, goddamn it, Pippi Longstocking. That's her name.
Yeah.
Come on, shit. Read tweet.
a lot of people do a lot of people do have certain hairstyles that they ride out because they want you to associate them with that style.
Man, anytime you hear the Bayang song, what you gonna think of? That Swoop Bang. That motherfucking Swoop Bang. Come on, man. This shit, come on now. Come on. Everybody want the Bayang. Everybody probably had the Bayang. Man, stop playing
Exactly.
with
You gotta be a trendsetter because imagine, just like you said with Aaliyah. Thank you, American Tradesman, because I was waiting on somebody to speak up like that's actually an industry or industry adjacent. Just like with Aaliyah. You had all the girls rocking the bangs. That's what you want as an entertainer. You want to have that influence.
Well, I
The
think
Bayang, that's what
Alicia
I'm
Keys
saying.
and her braids that came to the front was iconic. I personally feel that.
Okay, and
braids
she
that
had
came
people rocking braids. I'm saying you want to.
I'm agreeing with you, Shanika.
Yeah, she stuck with. I know. That's what I'm saying. Like
Oh,
she
okay.
had people rocking braids. Man, y'all
But-
gotta understand
but nah,
how I talk.
All
Hold
I know,
on.
ladies, is that sex sell, and women ain't got to be nothing but sexy to sell tickets, man. If they look good enough, they will sell out.
Thank you.
That's kind of. I don't know, Lord. You kind
Obvious.
of reach. You kind of
I'm
rich.
telling y'all, like the image is the most important aspect of your career.
Man, okay, so look at the boy from Snowfall. This nigga ugly. Right.
Ooh,
Not this nigga
Right.
ooh,
ugly.
I
Oh
know
my
you
God.
talking
Remember,
about
Drip, before we do this, Drip, I
I know
want you
you
to say
talking
it out
about
loud.
that dark skin. Yeah, you better go.
Men do not
That
need
dark
to
sexy
adhere
ass
to
nigga,
the
like get the fuck
beauty
out of here, boy.
standard. That
Oh
is for
my
women
God.
only. Only women have to adhere to
Samson
beauty
Idris,
standards.
I forgot his name, but the one who
Men
dated
just need to stay fit.
Give us free. Give us free. That's that boy name. Give
Not
us
give
free.
us free.
the one that dated Lori Harvey is who you talking about?
Yeah, that boy.
That part. The ugly
Yeah.
wear. Get out of here,
Nigga,
boy. I know
that
you ain't
nigga
you
ugly.
just a hater because he dark skinned. That's that light
I
skin
like
shit right there. That's all that is.
I like Idris
Nah, you
Elba.
niggas disrespectful, bro. Talking about my motherfucking skin color, goddamn it.
And I like who
yeah,
else I like?
You what?
I like
Coffee with a
Idris
whole
Elba.
bunch of cream in it.
get the fuck out of here a little bit. The fuck? Nigga, I'm
Oh,
black
you
as
like light skinned people, Mr. Dre?
I'm
What up, ignorant?
What up, Ignorant TV? I'm blacking it out, man. You better
What
get
up,
it.
cynical one?
Cynical
I'm sorry if I
one.
missed anybody. Let me scroll up because I feel like I be missing people. American
Yeah,
Trade.
LA gently motherfucking ass.
Yeah.
Shit,
I
this
think I
motherfucker.
spoke to you, Chakra. I'm about to say Shaka, like Shaka Khan.
Cynical one. Goddamn, man. Shout out to that boy Corey Love, man. Shout out to my boy Corey Love too, man. Real shit. You know what I'm saying? Me and that boy. I'll be fucking with that boy show live. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Looney and the Mo 3 sector in the building.
Looney Tunes.
Make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure y'all subscribe to this channel. I think you already did though, but yeah.
Looney.
What was y'all talking about before I got up here
We
though?
were talking about Tyler Perry. And I was asking, like, you know, do you give grace for people when you find out that they're victims as well and they're just perpetuating the cycle, you know, from what they were accustomed to? Do you think that Tyler Perry deserves grace because he has a lot of power and respect in the Black community for the things that he's done professionally? And so it's like, do you think that should count towards something? As far, then also knowing that he was a victim himself, you know what I'm saying? Like, do you weigh any of that into it, or you just like, nah, you grown, you know what's right from wrong, or at least you know what's, you know, whatever, you should know better type shit.
After listening to the Diddy trials, I have learned that there are no victims. Everybody does their thing. You know what I'm saying? It's just that, you know, some people are after the bag. Now, you asking for $260 million? That seems a little obtuse to me, right?
Bro,
like that's real crazy.
Wait a minute, bro. No, it don't. Lord, yes, if a nigga grabbing you and fucking sexual assaulting you like that, I want 360. The fuck?
Hold on. So only because he was a man, he get that?
Bro, no, because the nigga, what?
So if it was a woman, would she still be entitled to?
No, wait, because y'all clearly not hear what the fuck. Listen,
I was ready to argue.
No. See, look at you. Your ass, you know what? You need to release. You know what I'm saying? Relax, release. Yeah, that type of shit. So look, what I'm saying is this, Lord Eddie, is when you say the money was a little obtuse, if a nigga done you like that, would you want us to say the same thing? The money was obtuse, like that's too much. Fuck that. I need it all, nigga.
The money, drip. The money wouldn't matter because I want justice. That means that nigga gonna get up out of here.
Bro, he got my time and suffering and my healing, goddamn it.
My healing starts when that nigga stop. You know what I'm saying? Ain't number one way to stop that shit. Lord, that's how I see it.
Lord, yes. Now we know this YouTube, right? And we know people like to exaggerate just a little bit on the cap side, right? This drip though, keep it real with your boy. 260 million, my boy. Are you serious?
So
I'm shit. He did it. I'm fucked up.
But this ain't me. And for two, so far the record's 50 million with Shannon Sharp. This dude asking for $260 million for what again?
Nah, but bro, what if he really did it to him?
So let's ask this question, Mr.
Yeah,
ADS. What is a fitting number for someone Ring you, or they're saying what would you say is a good number?
I mean, me personally, like I said, I ain't into that type of stuff anyway, so I try to stay away from all that as much as possible.
What do you mean into it?
But if I was
What
to
you
guess
want
a
to
number,
say?
about 10, 15 million, something like that.
How much?
10, 15 million, something like
You
that.
think 10
Man,
to 15
bro, man.
million?
You,
Oh,
Yeah.
boy, that's crazy, bro. Lord, 80 years, bro. Why?
you
You
do
know what?
realize you're gonna
You
have
just a good heart
trauma
nigga.
the rest of your life.
You know what I'm saying? He got to
What do
pay
you
for
Gonna
that
have
shit.
mean?
what?
Trauma,
Trauma.
anxiety,
Uh-huh.
Okay, so first of all,
Oh, dude,
do you know
really?
Really?
Nah, really what?
Really?
Really?
Yeah, really.
Traumatize?
What's
So,
the
so it's the soft tissue injury to the brain that we gonna complain about? Really?
No, no,
hold
no,
on,
no. No, no, no,
hold on.
no.
Do you
Oh
know
my
what we talking
God.
about?
I can't.
Yeah, yeah. When you said trauma, right? It's soft tissue injury to the brain.
No,
That
no,
basically,
no,
you know,
no,
saying you got something stuck up in there.
no, Lord.
Wow.
The peak
Wow.
now you really playing with your boy right now. It's cool though. So I'm talking about like the PTSD, the anxiety, the not sleeping at night,
Right.
the goddamn me shit, your ass might get saucy on me, goddamn. I mean, I don't know, but are you? I mean, bro, bro, you know what? I want to say this because I feel like you're trolling me right now, but I don't want to say it because it's real kind of.
So, as a black man, you have free agency with me, brother.
No. Because I know you're not like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I ain't even gonna put that jacket or even try to play with the jacket on you like that because I ain't that type of nigga. But now, I just think, bro, I think you really kind of that shit gives a different vibe to me, Lord 80 for some odd reason, bro. But like,
Where is your empathy meter? I can't.
shit. I mean, like, if you want to put a price on somebody raping you, bro.
Right.
Now,
Exactly.
let's read the charges now before we go, because I had the same fallout with Angry Man over this Diddy stuff. I want y'all to read the charges first before y'all get emotional about this.
No.
I'm
An
asking
emotional
a
is a
general fucking question. No, I ain't emotional. No. Wait a minute, Shanae. I got you. I'm asking a general question, man to man. You're going to put a number on somebody raping you, bro?
Not at all. Not me, because it's the only way I get that satisfied is death.
But bro, that's what we're saying, ODS. That's what she asked you. What would you put a price on that? And you said 10, 15 million.
I mean, you know, from what I was reading, it really wasn't that for say head on, right? It was more of the advances that Derek had shot away. You know what I'm saying?
Boy, look at
so I mean, I'm just looking at it from kind of a. You say it's not empathetic, but to me, it's just that's how I see things from a logical perspective. You know what I'm saying? It's 200. I mean, whatever. I hope he gets it all. How about that? Let's all hope he gets it.
Yep, that sounds about right. Yeah, because you can't put a price tag on what you've done to my whole entire psyche, right? So I gotta for the rest of my life be wondering and jumping and whatever else I might be going on. Like Jip said, the PTSD, can't sleep right at night, can't really sleep ever again because of whatever happened to me, and it's beyond unbelievable. But I shouldn't even say that because I worked in sex crimes my whole entire adult life. But it's unbelievable for people to really almost trivialize it down to what the charges were. Who gives a shit about the charges? You more worried about the money than you are the action.
I'm not worried about
the crime.
any of this.
No. What I'm saying is, what I'm saying to you is, I'm saying only this. When people talk about it, especially when it's about some big rich person is involved in it, that's where, in my mind, for what I've seen over the years, that's where people start. Oh well, this person's asking for some money. Why if they were really so traumatized and they was really so hurt, why are they even asking for money? Why they not trying to go through the criminal process? Well, I hope everybody already knows that there's statutes of limitation on that. So by the time you work your way through the trauma, and let's be clear, a lot of victims of sexual assault aren't only victimized once. So let's land that there. But when you make your way through all of the legal system and trying to prove that this actually happened to you, most likely you're past that statute of limitation. In many cases, you are past that statute of limitation, so it doesn't even matter. Unless you can get that person on video saying out of their mouth, "Hey, this is what I did to this person," and they're right, then the criminal courts don't give a shit about whatever happened to you. You just need to move on, like the rest of the world tells you to do. even though that's an impossibility. That doesn't mean that you showing up every day as like a traumatized person. But to tell somebody to move on for that, that's what they do. So what happens to the victim in most cases, if they have a good attorney or an attorney at all, the attorney is going to say, listen, you could take your chances in criminal court with this jury of your peers that I can guarantee you probably a good third of them are thinking the same exact thing that a lot of these people say on the internet, which is, why was she there? Why was he there? Why were they dressed this way? She only wanted money, blah, 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 blah. They can say you could roll the dice with that jury over there, but it's going to be a percentage of those people that don't give a shit about victims any damn way. They don't believe them, they whatever, right? So you run the chance of, this person not getting convicted anyway. And when they don't, because it's highly likely that they won't, then you go over here and hit that person's pockets, because at the end of the day, that is the only thing I have left. But again, the world is going to see it as, well,
Yeah.
she only wanted money anyway. That's what they're going to look at it.
Because I wouldn't give a fuck what they asked or thought about it. I'm telling you, you better get
I
off that
know.
motherfucking shit, because the shit ain't gonna work for you. I'm trying to tell you, this shit ain't gonna work for you, bro. I'm trying to tell you.
Can I?
Everybody would be worried about what the fuck somebody got something to think about it. If I tell you every day, I give a fuck what a motherfucker got to say about our drip, because it don't bother me in real time. And like, so I hit the X and I'm through. But these niggas here, it's just crazy work. Like, I'm just saying, if a dude done some shit like that, bro, like, I can't even fathom that shit right now. But at the end of the day, bro, it's death, nigga. Ain't no money gonna be involved, because I'm a down it, nigga.
Only thing gonna fix that is life, nigga. Blood. That's gonna be that right there.
This
Blood
nigga to go immediately. What you crazy? Shit. It ain't gonna be no money involved. I'm not gonna be worried about it. I'm going to get mine. Shit, you got me fucking crazy. Boy, you crazy. I'm going to get that and put that boy head on a pedestal and put that bitch on the goddamn trophy stand. Yeah, we got one, coach. And you through. Fucking wrong with you, nigga. Hell nah.
Chanel.
That shit wild as hell.
Mm-hmm.
Can I lean on you for some education? Because I'm not as educated in this type of stuff. I'm not really into the kind of, the how do you say the, saying the people business per se, right? At that point, maybe I'm a little cold and distant from that per se. But let me ask a few questions. What's the worst? Have you seen this actually have a long-term effect on people that lasted that long, 20, 30 years?
Absolutely.
See,
and it wouldn't have to be, let's be clear, it doesn't have to be something as erroneous or, horrible as sexual assault. People still suffering from, somebody bullying them in school. Like I said, you're not walking around, as a walking, trauma patient, but it still bothers you. We all get triggered. This is why I always come on and say, you can't micromanage other people's trauma. It's their trauma. And the reason that I know we all have it is because people get triggered, and it doesn't, like I said, trauma, people look at it, this is a very kind of like, hard type of trauma, but any trauma is going to be that way. But trauma could involve not only that, but death, how people, treat you, your family treating you a certain way, you being disregarded, all these types of things are trauma. I always say everybody has a trauma center in their own brain somewhere. We just do, but we're taught in this toxic environment that.
Let's not talk about the environment, because I disagree, but I do have my agreements
in their
with
family,
the
their
way things are.
community, and everything. Oh, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, you went out for a second.
Oh, no, but I was just saying we all have trauma. So to me, I would never try to put a time frame on it. Whenever people are, because to me, this is what should happen. What you should be doing is learning how to cope with it and how to go from when you get what's the right word? When you get triggered, to not just going directly to the response, which might be crying, which might be anger, which might be frustration or whatever else. So that's what a lot of people have to work on, but a lot of people don't get that or don't know that because they family telling them in the community telling them you need to move on. But what's your second question?
We deaf.
Oh, y'all can't hear me?
No. I heard your ass.
Say shit. Just so you know.
Now,
but my thing, and this ain't me trying to cape for the older generations. I don't think that they were saying like we don't care about the trauma. I think they were just saying like, okay, it happened. We can't change it. We gonna have to figure out how to get over it and not cry about it every day for the rest of your life. And I felt
People
like that was just
though,
the way that.
People don't do that. What is what I'm saying? People don't ordinary. How many people do y'all pass by every day at work or wherever you are, and you say, "Hey, how you doing?" And everybody says, "What's the canned result? Canned response? Oh, I'm good." You dying on the inside. People are taught that. They're taught that we don't need to talk about it. I understand the older people are doing those things, but they're doing it because that's what they were told. That's why. And I'm saying we gotta say, like, we gotta listen to people. We can't just tell them that they have to move on, because how do you move on in the world that's treacherous?
All right,
You
so like
know?
I was saying, because I was in the middle, but yeah,
Oh,
I think that it was
my
you kind of
apologies.
touched on what I was going to say, but yeah, I
Can I
don't
ask
think
you
that it was
a
them
little
being
bit of
malicious.
follow-up,
It was
Tamika?
just them, following a pattern that they were exposed to during their upbringing. Because if you research the older generations, like that's just how they responded based off of the things that they were going through at that time, because they were going through war and recessions, and you know what I'm saying. So they had to be like that. Whereas nowadays it's a little different, and I think that that's where the disconnect is.
I remember as a kid, my first time hearing about therapy, I was 12, 13 years old. It was 92, 93. My cousin was, his mother and father were going through a divorce and they sent him to a session, right? And one day I knew saying it was right down the street. So I rode a bike down there with him, saying, dropped him off. I didn't know what that even was. And how helpful that can be to a lot of people in these circumstances and situations. You know, now, like I said earlier, I'm not as how do you say, as familiar with, right, a lot of these circumstances and situations, especially when it comes to this stuff. Like I said, I try to stay away from it as much as possible. For one, I'm light skinned, I ain't gonna do well in prison, and for two,
Oh
I
my
can't
God.
afford this shit. I
God
can't afford
damn
this shit, right? So I try to stay away from it as much as possible. But you said this could go on for years, right? After a
it.
person experiences this.
Hmm.
Just out of curiosity, do you see a, how do I ask this without asking this?
Just ask it.
Do you see a large number of people that come through your office with this type of,
Yes.
okay?
Hmm. Yep. But usually people don't present, that's usually not their presenting problem. Their presenting problem usually is anxiety, depression, PTSD. They may have intrusive thoughts. They may have, other type of mental disorders, like schizophrenia, like schizoaffective disorder, bipolar 1 to bipolar 2, on and on and on. But some usually somewhere along the line they talk about sexual assault that has happened to them in their family, usually, or people that are close to them that have done that. And unfortunately, a lot of times families won't, even when you put it out there and you admit, they tell you Uncle so and so did it. People don't move those people out of those people's lives. They stay right where they are and continue to reoffend. So yeah, I don't think that's a type of trauma that you really get over. I really don't think most people get over trauma. I think they get through it. And then when they get triggered, then they have to go through it again. But yeah, that's my opinion though.
But I
Yeah,
mean, you
functioning,
just
right?
said that nobody ever really truly gets over it. And so
The
to
reason I
sit
say
there
that
and play
is,
the victim, hold on now, come on now, because I feel like you starting to get out of hand. Like everybody always give you your grace and let you say what you gotta say, and Drip will tell everybody to shut the fuck up so you can finish your statement. You gotta show that same respect to everybody else. And this ain't me with no attitude or nothing. I'm just saying, like, just let me finish my sentence because I was quiet while you spoke, and I would like that same respect. And I'm not saying that I felt that you disrespected me. I just think that we need to be a little more intentional with how we communicate, and that's how we can
okay.
do better. But like I was saying, with regards to the trauma, it's something that you're in most cases you're not going to be able to get over for the rest of your life. Most people are affected by the things that traumatize them, especially on a very serious level. And so, and it's not me dick riding the older generation, because I'm not. We all fucked up. You feel me? But I think that there was a hint of where it was necessary to learn how to cope. And I think that that was the overall message. Not saying just ignore it, sweep it on the rug. While there were many that said it, many did just try to sweep things on the rug and act like it didn't happen. And a lot of them didn't get the help that they needed, or whatever the case may be. But at the same time, it was just kind of like, okay. And I'll also even add that they didn't always necessarily have the answers for how you can cope. And so I think that's why it comes across as just sweeping it across the rug. Even when they weren't sweeping across the rug, they didn't know how to deal with it because they didn't have the resources or the knowledge to know how to respond to those types of things, especially with the way that they grew up. But I do feel like that element of we have to learn how to stop blaming ourselves and blaming others for the things that happen and figure out a way, like you said, to where you can recognize those triggers, learn to avoid them as best as you can. And when you recognize that you are triggered, learn how to respond in a way that will be beneficial to your mental sanity instead of just, lashing out or, because I feel like a lot of people, they use that as an excuse or a crutch. And I don't understand why they, why we can't also acknowledge the fact that we have to put in the work to learn how to deal with it. And I don't always come for nobody. I was I wrong in what I said? I don't even worry about it. But go ahead, you got it.
If I can ask Shanika, well, Chanel, I was thinking the same thing, but I just didn't know exactly how to explain it, right? Because you see people go through all types of trauma all the time, if that is the case. Outside of sexual, bad breakups, things like that, right? Things that happen to them in life. And most people are just functioning beyond that, though, right?
Well, some people, they are, because they may have a lack of support. And others may have a good support system and still are just functioning. And some have a great support system and are functioning just well. Some people are not as emotional as others. They don't have it's sort of like, it may not take you longer to get over the, basketball, y'all lost the championship, and somebody else on your team might take them a minute. You know what I'm saying? And that's obviously not as egregious as, sexual assault or anything like that. But I'll tell you this, like I literally just left a lunch, and even though it's 7:22, where I was speaking with one of my coworkers, my newer coworkers, and while we were sitting there, she told me about being SA'd, sexually assaulted. Like we were just having lunch at Salada, minding our business, and just talking about work and stuff like that. And she told me right then, so it doesn't have to be, some, therapy session where, you're telling all of your deepest dark secrets. And that's why, like for me specifically, I get irritated when people, everybody's different, but it does irritate me how stuck people are on the money, or they think she may or he may have done something and they was trying to come up and all that kind of stuff. I'm not saying that stuff doesn't happen. I'm just saying most of the people that I meet in my lifetime tell me some sort of situation where they were sexually assaulted. So it doesn't have to be that they're in therapy or they're in counseling. A lot of times people will share it because they feel like it's a safe space to share it. Some people, want to crawl under a rug and never want to talk about it again. Some people block it out, and whatever way they respond is appropriate for them. That's why I'm like, whatever works for them. I can't tell you what to do. I can give you some coping mechanisms, but everybody's different. So, but anyway, did you have a question? I'm sorry.
What percentage of those who come through your office, if I can ask directly, right? You said it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
What percentage of them are women who actually that you find this out with?
Most of them. I wouldn't want to put a number on it because I haven't done any statistical whatever for my clients, but I could just tell you what one statistic I do know. 1 in 4 women will be sexually assaulted in their lifetime. I do know that. We don't have a lot of research around men, and especially Black men or boys, because trust, I've looked, and it's a lot of reasons that doesn't happen. Mostly, I think, shame and same things that go on with women, but there's like this stigma on men that you need to, get through it. And if that did happen to you, then you're gay or you're, whatever. So I feel personally, I don't know this to be true, but my instinct says that a lot of boys go through that same type of trauma, but they're usually not presenting with that when they come to my office. They're presenting with some other mental disorder or issue.
I agree with that because, again, we don't have the stats to back it up, but I feel like it's the same rate because when I've definitely seen it where, older women be like, yeah, that's my little boyfriend. Oh, you so handsome. And they be saying stuff that I feel is very out of pocket. And because they're a woman, it gets swept under the rug. Just like when you have these women that sleeping with the students versus the men that sleep with the students. It's two totally different outcomes with regard to the outrage that the public has based off of what happened in those situations. And so, yeah, I think it's absolutely happening to men just as often as women, but we just don't know because they just won't say it. And that's the sad part. Like, we
I have
have
some
this
rules
space
with
as
that.
women to be able to just mention things like this nonchalantly because we've talked about it so much. But men, they got to take that to the grave. If not, they're gonna be looking at you like you Tyler Perry.
I believe that, Shanika. I do believe that to a large extent that a lot of these boys have been in circumstances they should not have been, right? For whatever reason, Um, it kind of teaches you, saying a little something because, like I said, I lived in the country the vast majority of my life around white folks, saying, and black people I knew was in houses. Most of this stuff, I mean, I never heard of this stuff as a kid. So just kind of makes me realize how fortunate I was, right? But people go through this stuff, and this is wild to me. That it's like such a large number of folks. Nobody really talks about it.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Y'all don't talk about it.
I think that,
and maybe they shouldn't, right? Because at the end of the day, like saying Chanel is a licensed therapist. If you didn't know, so she could take on those type of problems and give you counseling for it, but the rest of us, we cannot. We just can't.
I got to give you some pushback on that because as women, we can sit around and we can heal each other. And that's no disrespect to Chanel and her profession or anyone that's in that profession, because you definitely have to put in the work to get that, and it's admirable. But I don't feel like we should discredit the things that we can do for each other just as people. I've been in situations where just talking about certain things with my peers has helped me grow and to deal with certain things simply because I thought I was alone, and I'm talking to my homegirls and 5 or 6 of them like, yeah, this happened to me too. Just that one thing of them saying I've experienced that as well has helped. Not tremendously in every situation, but it does have an effect. Just being able to have that safe space where you can talk about it with someone that you feel comfortable with expressing that to. That's just like venting. Venting makes you, even if you scream it at a wall, it still make you feel better to get it out, regardless of who's listening.
It's different when you work with a licensed therapist. It really is different.
It is.
Yeah, much different. It feels more free, right? Like you can have a real conversation and somebody actually listens to it. It understands it, right? Can give you some type of counseling for it, some good legal counseling for it, right? I had a therapist for about 2 years after the pandemic because I got to the point where I got disconnected, right, from family and friends, wasn't answering calls. I literally didn't call my current girlfriend at the time for 6 weeks. I didn't even really think about it, right? So my mom was saying she put me on to game and I had to go get a therapist, use my insurance. It was a little steep on the price. But at the end of the day, though, when I left there, I felt like a better person, right? Because I did realize it wasn't as bad as I thought I was by far, even with my behavior. Well, it probably wasn't as good as I should have been, right? A lot of cases, I think what men don't want to talk about is that what we carry with us, right? Throughout life, saying the failure, the success. I think that's hard for men to talk about, right? Especially on those types of levels, because it's just like full exposure. But, if you get the right person, it's like it's totally worth it, right? Because you get to come back together as a better version of yourself. So, but I wouldn't suggest just talking to like guys like me, because I'm not going to know where to assist or how to help that.
right. I think, I definitely think that both people are right for different reasons. Sometimes, it's easier to talk to someone, like how you said, it may just come up in conversation with your friend, your auntie, or whomever. And that might be very, moving for you, and it might help you, heal or whatever the case may be. But there is something to be said to a certain extent about like the formal education part of it. And so I'll just give you an example of this. So like I remember in college, there was a class I took called Death and Dying. And right now outside of my own practice, I am a hospice social worker. So all of my patients are, dying actively. Um, but that class, whenever I took it years ago, probably 20 years ago or whenever it was, but when I took it years ago, I didn't realize there was so much to death and dying. One of the things I always took with me was a lot of times, especially females, you get pregnant and then you have a miscarriage, let's just say. And many people, I call them well-meaning morons, but they'll be like, "Oh, you're young, you can have a baby again," or if a woman had that A word that I don't think we could say, if that happened, people will be like, "Well, whatever." They mean well, but you probably shouldn't tell that person that, because even if they had a stillborn, even if they didn't carry full term or whatever, to that person, it's still a loss. But if you don't have that education, or somebody educated, I'll say it like that, or at least has that type of knowledge, then you're gonna say those things, and people feel like, oh, I can't really say anything about what happened because these people are telling me. And this is the part that I'm talking about, like with the trauma that goes lifelong. Because although everybody else done moved on, you still looking, oh, I wonder what my 5-year-old, my baby would be 5 now. I wonder what they would be doing. And it's a true loss. But before I took that class, I never thought of it like that. I'm certain I probably said a whole bunch of that type of stuff. And that's just one little nugget of it. So, but I 100% believe or agree with Shanika's assessment of it could be anybody that can help you heal. I guess I'm assuming that's really what she was getting at. And then for things that are way more complicated, like, a mental disorder, you certainly need to be diagnosed by a psychiatrist and, can go through levels of therapy or different types of therapy, which is, I think, more or less what Mr. ADS was referring to.
Yeah, and
Where you need
you definitely
professional
have
help.
to. I'm sorry. You definitely have to be, mindful and exercise discernment when you're determining who you want to open up with and be vulnerable about the things that you're dealing with. And so I will always say, a person that is a licensed professional will always, hold a more weight than someone else, right? Because you've been specifically trained in that area, right? And so logically that does make sense. But I'm just saying, like, even using the example that you did about the woman that lost the child, her cousin could be a nurse, that could still
Right.
that could still relate to that. I used to work when I worked I used to work in survivor benefits, and so I can still, I understand death on a different level, not because of any type of formal education, but just because of my professional experience in dealing with, those types of situations, and understanding the whole grieving process when you're talking to people, that's lost a loved one. Because I used to be very insensitive, especially like in a hospice situation. It's like, okay, they're in hospice, they're on the way out. Why is it still bothering you when it happens? You saw it coming. Like, I would say stupid shit like that, but it's like, even when it's coming, it still doesn't prepare you for when it actually happens. And that's just something that you learn, dealing with people that, when you're dealing with death on a regular basis. And so that's all I was saying. Like, sometimes, you can still get things to help you to heal from things from the person that is unexpected, which is not the person that isn't a therapist. And when you do get a therapist, you still got to be careful and make sure you choose the right one, because we all saw that video of that therapist crashing out. Like, we all have seen a therapist where it's just like, I don't know.
Shanika, they are expensive as hell. Therapists are expensive.
They're also people, though. They're also people as well that deal with things on their own. And you know what I'm saying? Just like how you have people that have never been married, but they're a marriage counselor. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's not to discredit them and say that they can't do their job efficiently. I'm just saying, like, I could also talk to a married couple too, and they may be able to give me some insight just as beneficial to me as a therapist as well. And so that's all I was just saying. Like, everybody may not necessarily have the resource or the finances to afford a therapist. And when you can't, then, just make sure you find the right people that can still, you
come back on your panel and find Chanel. That's all you need to do. If Chanel's up here, you good.
Yeah, funny. Thank you, though. I'm on a live, babe.
But and that's one thing that I guess I can appreciate, that we are, they are more accessible nowadays. Because I know at one of my jobs, they had an app where you can go and get therapy. You could text the person back and forth, where you don't have to go and sit in their office. And, you know, a lot of jobs have the EAP, you know, and so employee assistance program where they'll give you a handful of sessions or this, that, and the other. I just think that, you know, I would encourage everyone to utilize or at least seek out the resources that are in your area. Because I feel like a lot of times we beat ourselves up over the traumas that we endure. And we, you know, allow that mental block to prohibit us from getting the help that we need. I'm gonna play the video since everybody on route. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, we're gonna play a little more. We're gonna play a little more for the people that's actually interested in the Tyler Perry. Sorry for the deviation, but I think that this is a really good conversation though. So we are gonna deviate, and it's not even with Medea.
Lawsuit also listed out some of the sexual commentary by Perry that Dixon claimed he experienced while filming The Oval in 2020. This is what he says that Perry told him. Dixon said that Perry told him, quote, that he liked being choked. That was after Dixon's character was choked by a cast member in a scene on The Oval. Perry also allegedly said, why do you twist your hips when you walk? How can I get a day of Dixon? When will you be thick again? I love how I feel right now, but I don't like being horny. I feel sorry for the first person who flirts with me, and I've been trying to put that energy somewhere else, but everything is sexual on this stuff.
When will you get thick again? Oh, that is I don't like that. Don't talk to me like that. Ooh, my gosh. That was one of the screenshots of the text messages I saw on another one on another stream or whatever. So that's wild to be texting your employer. Like this why they be having the segregation, why they say bosses don't need to fraternize with their employees. Like you gotta keep that that separation, because the lines get blurred, because he gonna say, oh, we just friends. This how we talk at work. And then now it's harassment. Y'all better be careful about these conversations y'all have with people. Talking about, oh, we just co-workers, it's all good. I don't know. I
still need more context on this, Shanika. I just do. This just seems shady as hell.
These are text messages or conversations he's saying that he had with.
Yeah, it seems shady to me. This is back in 2022, right?
I think so. I don't remember.
5 years ago, yeah. You know, we'll see, right? But
I still think, regardless of the context, that's just the inappropriate thing to say to somebody that you working for, like your boss. Like, that's just a bit much for me. But it was they didn't show like the back and forth. They just showed, you know, the little snippets of the conversation. I saw the screenshots with the back and forth, and that's how they were talking to each other. Because that's why I said they had the other screenshot where they were like, Tyler Perry had done told him, like, yeah, you need to find somebody to make love you, you know, to help you relieve some stress or something. He said to that effect. Like, what?
Give me the backdrop on this, Shanika. Give me I have read into this sparingly just for this reason. They let those bussies do whatever they do. You know what I'm saying? And we know, let's just keep it real. Act like y'all don't know that Tyler been that the whole time. We take all these Medea movies about. He liked that dress. Ben liked it. So we already knew this, right? Now, it's just wild to me, right? That all this went on and nothing came of it. This wasn't no type of, I'm not sure what this is, but it's weird. It's like really, really strange, you know?
Just took a glance at the chat, right? So they're saying that there have been some studies that have been conducted, and apparently they're suggesting, right? And I'm gonna say suggesting because, you know, when it comes to studies, you got to take it with a grain of salt because you don't know what factors come into play with regards to how they're determining or how they're interpreting the data, right? but they're saying that psychologists had the fourth highest unaliving or self-deletion rate amongst the healthcare professions. And that is actually very common among psychologists, with studies suggesting that they may have a higher risk of self-deletion compared to the general population and even other healthcare professions.
I'll say this. I've dealt with some psychiatrists, right? And one thing I can say is that if they don't have like a certain kind of charm or like charisma to them, they tend to kind of like be stuck in the same spots, right? The really good ones know how to really speak to people. And Chanel has got that quality. She knows how to talk to people. So, that's like A+ work. But, we still got to talk about, figuring out a way to get the numbers down, right? $360 an hour, Chanel?
Yes, sir.
$360 an hour?
Well, if you're a psychiatrist, I'm not a psychiatrist, so let me be very clear about that. I'm not a doctor. But hold on, can y'all hear me?
Yes.
I don't know if anyone can hear me. No, I just feel like, listen, whatever you want to charge is whatever you want to charge. But they're doctors, so that's not uncommon. Hold on.
And also, I just want to point out, they're just saying in comparison to other healthcare professions. So it's not even necessarily, compared to just everybody, but just specifically that sector. And you can look it up with the National Violent Death Reporting System if you want to kind of look into that. But that, like who said that? Like Chakra was saying, like I wouldn't be surprised. You didn't listen to people's problems all day, like child. Like that's a lot. That's very, what I'm saying? Because I know just me having conversations with my friends about the shit that they have going on in their life, that is very draining. And if that's all you doing all day, every day, hats off to you, because child. But I guess you do get the gratification as you see the progression and you see them, healing at their own pace, so I can understand how rewarding that can be as well. And it's absolutely necessary because we need to learn, how to cope. Because I feel like, in high school or even before high school, as you matriculate through the K through 12 system, everybody need to be, they need to have more not guidance counselors, but they need to have a psychologist, a psychiatrist on staff where you can, the students can go and sign up for sessions or have mandatory sessions and things like that. I think that should be incorporated into just our everyday lives a little more. Like, not just the guidance counselor, but somebody you can go and actually sit down and talk to, while you're still a child. But I know that can be, I understand the bureaucracy and logistics behind it and why they, wouldn't do it. But I think that is absolutely necessary. And I really wish that they would take this stigma off of, like you something is wrong with you if you need a therapist because you should be able to fix yourself. No, we got to stop that. We really got to stop that. Because if that were the case, we wouldn't have all these people running around here batshit crazy. No, go and talk to somebody, please.
Well, I would say that that's accurate. I was going to say, I wouldn't say accurate. I haven't done the study or read the study that they're talking about, but I would agree because, well, personally, like I was saying earlier, everybody has trauma, right? And then you might be getting triggered while you're in session. You know what I'm saying? Depending on what field you're, or the population of your, people you're helping is. But it makes sense. But I listen, I think everybody needs to be on somebody's couch at some point in their life, probably throughout their whole entire life. And it's less about, someone giving you, because therapy really isn't about you coming there and them telling you what to do to get to heal yourself. It's more about recognizing, at least from my perspective, recognizing that you've already probably at some point can point out a time where you overcame. So if you can think about a time you overcame, then you know that you can overcome. It's just, what are your tools that you're going to need to get there? But at any rate, it's more about coping with whatever's going on because it's already happened 9 times out of 10, which is why you came through the door, so to speak. But I do think it's probably accurate because you're listening to people in the worst parts of their lives, daily. And or if you're a psychiatrist, you most likely obviously are diagnosing someone with some sort of mental disorder. And then a lot of those people, or I won't say a lot of those people, I'll say there's a good number, especially if they're inpatient, that have a very aggressive diagnosis, like conduct disorder and all that kind of stuff. Like I remember when I was first starting out, I was like, I want an office space and blah blah blah. And then COVID changed all that because COVID said we could get it online.
No. COVID C19 didn't say
C19.
nothing.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I apologize. My bad. But no, so
No,
then I was like,
just stop. Just
okay.
stop. You talking too much. God damn. Yeah. Hey y'all, I'm back. So, what we talking
about? We were I guess to tie it back to the video, we were talking about like, the relationship that you have as an employer or employers between employees, because they were reading some of the snippets from the text messages that Tyler was sending Buddy. He was like, yeah, well, you go get thick again. And like, I need a hunch on something. I'm horny as hell. And, having these conversations. And the screenshot that I saw, it was a back and forth where they were speaking to each other in that same tone. And I was like, that's just, out of pocket. Like, you really need to separate, and you shouldn't be having these types of conversations with people that you are employed by, because it kind of can turn into something like this where, now somebody can use that against you. And then, we kind of deviated a little bit, just talking about vulnerability and how it's good to speak to a therapist. And I was saying that you can also get healing from your peers as long as you exercise discernment and speak to, the right people. They can still pour into you and help you as well if you don't have the financial resources or you don't have the insurance that would afford you an actual therapist. And then we deviated even more about how, therapists, they don't. But yeah, so I'm going to play the video a little bit so you can see some of the messages that they were sharing.
Lawsuit also contained numerous text messages from Perry to Dixon, some of which seem to have been sent when Perry was intoxicated. And if Dixon didn't respond, according to the complaint, Perry would hound him. Dixon also claims the harassment turned physical. Quote, on multiple occasions, Mr. Perry sexually assaulted Mr. Dixon, including one instance where he forcibly pulled off Mr. Dixon's clothing, groped his buttocks, and attempted to force himself on Dixon. Mr. Dixon told a drunken Perry no and attempted to remove Mr. Perry's hands, but Mr. Perry held tightly onto Dixon's wrists. Mr. Dixon was only able to escape after de-escalating the situation by abruptly changing the subject. The day
What? He forcibly ripped your clothes off and grabbed your behind? Grabbing your wrist? Holding you down? I mean, is Tyler that strong? I guess he's strong.
So wait.
You had to change the subject? That's how you got out of it? By changing the subject? Okay.
So wait, hold on. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So just think about Dwight Howard trying to hold you down. Dwight Howard's 7'6". He got allegations too of rape on a male. Just think about a nigga 7'6". Nigga.
It said 7'6".
Nigga 7'6".
No, like you de-escalated the situation by changing the subject. I feel like, and I'm not a man, but I just feel like
Ignorant. What up, boy?
You de-escalate the situation by throwing hands. I'm sorry.
Bro, I'm trying to tell you, it's crazy.
I don't know how I would feel as a man to have another man overpower you like that, and all you could do is change the subject. Like, dang, boy, that sucks.
Change the subject?
That's how he de-escalated it, by changing the subject. That's what he said.
Good luck, motherfucker.
Yeah, let me go ahead. 2 seconds. Yeah, Mr. Dixon was only able to escape. He's soft as... Okay, I'm stopped. After de-escalating the situation by abruptly changing the subject. So this man is overpowering you, trying to take something. What you change the subject to that got you out of that? Because I need the game. Like, what can I say?
He tried to change the subject screams like stress, like no bullshit.
Like, what did he say to get out of that? You need to teach the ladies on how you were able to de-escalate a possible, assault just by changing the subject. What you said? What up, low keys? Oh no, it's ignorant. You ain't shit.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't shit. He said he probably asked him, "Do you have a condom?"
Bro, somebody banned ignorant ass out the fucking chat for about 2 seconds.
Oh my god, this is not funny. I'm sorry. I'm not.
Bro,
I'm not
that is hilarious. Yes, it is. Because what if he did say
the
shit like
situation?
that?
I'm laughing at the joke.
What if the nigga asked some shit like, "Why you got me blocked on social media?" What? Bro, man, what the fuck I did? Bro, that's wild. Like, bro, you shit. You get your shit took. You gotta say something, goddamn.
Go get the baby oil.
Yeah, you feel me? Like the nigga looking like you, like, whoa, that nigga aggressive.
What did he change the subject to? I just need to know, because what, he got your wrist held down to the point where you gotta escape.
That shit sound like one of them Tyler Perry scenes he got.
It do. It do.
He said, "Look here, you little bitch." Probably call each other bitches too. Bitch.
Shout out to Phineas and Ferb. Screw up in my pants. Okay, sorry. I'm childish. But yeah, shout out to him for changing the subject and talking his way out of it. Kudos to you.
He probably said, "What would Jesus do?" That's what he probably asked the nigga, bro. You know, Tyler supposed to be TD Jakes partnering them, so he holier than thou. So he probably was like, "Look at God," some shit like that, and he got his big tall ass off that motherfucker. You know, Tyler taller than a motherfucker.
Yeah,
Tyler, like 6'4", 6'5", 6'4" nigga. Shit.
He big.
I ain't gonna lie. Boy would have to catch a motherfucking major beat down. Like, oh my.
That's what I'm
like.
Forcibly pulled off his clothes. Nah. Do you know how long it take to take all your clothes off? Like,
and the nigga,
unless he had on a button-up shirt and some button-down, the rip-away sweatpants, like he forcibly pulled off your clothes.
The rip-away? Hey, you know what? I remember I had a pair of them hoes too. They was the real NBA ones, the Rockets. They got them tearaway pants. Oh,
yeah, I like those.
I had a pair of them motherfuckers. Them all had the buttons on them motherfuckers. Yeah. Let me tell you something. Them some bitches really, definitely easy access all the way up to the motherfucking waist. I ain't gonna hold you. Like,
yep.
The motherfucker were like cowboy saddle pants. Really, when you unbutton them, it's crazy work. But them motherfuckers really wasn't that easy to tear away to. Tell you, them motherfuckers in the NBA shit a little different. It gotta be. Mine was authentic from Academy, all of those shit. Them some bitches was hard to snap away. I ain't bullshit. They was hard. They wasn't that easy.
Saying, you just ripped my clothes off. Like, man.
So he had to really cheat.
Yeah, he got a good grip on that shirt and snatched it with that, like how they be on TV when they rip that shirt off or something. Like, that's wild though to have to experience something like that.
You talking about like Hulk Hogan?
Yeah, like just grab it and snatch it like it's a white beater, like it's a piece of silk or something. Like just rip like that. Like, dang.
You sound like you a little turned on by that shit. You all right over there? You sound like
I'm just saying, like clothes. I don't know. I ain't that strong, but I can't just rip nothing off. But I ain't strong.
Yeah, but you keep going to the rip shit. Like that shit kind of fucking with you a little bit. It's turning you on a little bit.
I'm saying, as a guy, to have to endure another dude.
You kept, like, you would rip and rip and rip. Rip.
I'm just saying that wasn't an experience that took 30 seconds. Like I imagine at least 3 minutes worth of ripping.
Yeah, you like that ripping, huh? You keep going back to that month. Yeah, you got it. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
Tyler strong.
Shit. Rip that motherfucker in. Rip that beat.
Situation by abruptly changing the subject. The day after the assault, Mr. Perry called and texted Mr. Dixon relentlessly saying, "Tried you, call me, and I really need to talk to you. Please call me as soon as you can." And finally, when Mr. Dixon answered, Tyler Perry's
oh shit, my bad. Kassim, you see that shit? That's some bullshit, huh? That's what I said too. I'm trying to tell you, it was some bullshit. Bullshit. Bro.
This is a certified hood classic. The Trip Show.
I'm just saying, he ain't had no jeans on.
You say he had the ripaways, the little button ups.
That's clearly he had some ripaways on. Cause what?
Man,
Like-
you know they got to put it in a fucking music setting. I mean, not a music, but a movie setting, and he gazed in his eyes as they twinkled like the stars, looking at him as he ripped his cufflinks off. It hit
And
him in
then
the nose. What?
grabbed his buttocks.
Yeah, that's wild. Then you say,
Then grabbed his wrist.
boy
hit
tried
his
to
ass
hog tie
down.
his ass. He tried to hog tie his ass. That's what he tried to
Yes,
do.
he,
Yeah, let
when
me
he,
wrap
when
this
he
rope
pinned
around
you
your
down, were
muscle.
you on your stomach?
Oh my Jesus. Eating crackers and shit. That shit crazy work. I'm high.
Yikes! Like, child, look at a drunken Perry.
Wow. Drunken Perry. That
Wow.
sounds like a crazy motherfucker. A drunken parrot. Drunken Perry.
That sounds like a drink that you will
Yeah.
order from a bar. Like, yeah, let me get that
Yeah, at
drunken
the
Perry.
beach. At the beach. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Perry. Yeah. I fuck with it. You'll drink
Perry
that
on the
motherfucker?
beach.
You'll drink that motherfucker? I drink
A
that
drunken Perry.
Yeah.
That sound kind of
Hey, bro.
strong.
Hey, bro, let me get two of them. What they got? Yeah, them motherfucking drunken Perry's right there. Yeah. Yeah, that's for them. I need a water. Oh, God.
You know that
Let me
that
get two
drink's
of them
strong.
Perry.
That's
Yeah,
all I
that motherfucker
know.
different. It got to be top shelf, the drunken Perry. First of all, nigga, we need to find out who Perry was. That's where we start. Like, well, wait a minute. Why is it called the drunken Perry? Well, didn't me tell you about this bartender named Perry. His dumb ass tried to drink goddamn alcohol, goddamn chlorine, and shot a goddamn 1942 at the same time.
Yeah, I would
This
get a drunken
motherfucker
Perry
ain't
and some Diddy juice.
This motherfucker ain't make it. I'm trying to tell you. Shit. You want to try it? Hell yeah. Let me get two of them. Oh God, I'm trying to tell you, boy. What? These two of them motherfuckers.
Situation
Nah,
by
nigga, not the
abruptly
Diddy water.
changing the subject. The day after the assault, Mr. Perry called and texted Mr. Dixon relentlessly saying, "Tried you, call me, and I really need to talk to you. Please call me as soon as you can." And finally, when Mr. Dixon answered Tyler Perry's call, Mr. Perry profusely apologized for the sexual assault while blaming it on other things.
What up, Platinum?
Perry continued, quote, "He didn't know why he would do that.
shit.
Maybe he was self-sabotaging." On the very same call where he apologized for the sexual assault against Dixon, Perry told Dixon, quote, "And don't worry, we're going to do your show," referring to the pilot that Perry knew Mr. Dixon had desperately wanted to produce.
Oops.
Man, them boys want to make movies at the Tyler Perry studio. That what they were doing. Yeah.
Well, you know, he had to eat. That was the price he had to pay, I guess, to get his show on. I don't know.
Is that
That's
like-
very expensive.
Man.
Very expensive.
To what?
As far as the price to pay for the fame, or to get your TV show, to get the money and all this stuff. Like,
I mean, he probably was on his knees a few times for that show. You know what I'm saying?
nice.
You got to pay like your way these days in that industry like that. And if he probably, so you got to know the LMNOP can recognize the LMNOP real shit. They'll
Ooh.
recognize if you really down low, or they'll recognize if you really out there. Nah, for real. These folks, so look, it's this shit called Splash, right? In Houston. It's probably everywhere, but I know for sure it's in Houston, but it's almost like a Kappa Beach party. And, they be having Trina, Missy, like a whole bunch of motherfuckers there. You know what I'm saying? And it was this nigga named Flawless, Shanika. No bullshit. Flawless. When I seen that boy in the daytime, because they had two buses, one going to the beach during the day. Now watch this, Shanika. This gonna fuck you up. In my time of being in the city of Houston, I've never seen a stud police officer. That's a fact, right? why she had 12 of them escorting the bus from Houston to Galveston. That's like an hour ride. You hear me? That's first. And then she was the host of that motherfucker. She was the host. So later on that night, they got the bus again and they went off Montrose. And if y'all Google Montrose in Houston, you'll see what I'm talking about. Firecracker shit. You feel me? Some bullshit. Some tambourine players everywhere. Crazy work. And it's like high-end motherfuckers, like motherfuckers that got a lot of money on. You feel me? Like big ass apartments and shit, big houses and shit. But it's tambourine. You know what I'm saying? So that day, Shanika, boy pulled up in a Bentley. I'm telling my driver, I'm like, bro, who the fuck are these folks? And I'm seeing these niggas get on the bus, Shanika, regular schmegular. You don't see no type of amenity. You know what I'm saying? I mean, LMNOP, that type of shit. You don't see none of that. That night, I'm seeing nothing but a bunch of look like women. You feel me? Why one of the women was flawless? Bruh, come on, Shanika. Like, Shanika. You know, me, I'm an asshole, right? I had to ask. No bullshit. I say, bro, that's you from earlier? Oh, my mama. He like, hell yeah. I'm like, oh, my God. Oh, my God. This nigga, that's really that. I'm like, damn, bro. That's crazy. Like, I'm looking at me like, bro, it's crazy. Like, I'm looking at him like a clown, like dressed up in a clown suit type shit. I'm like, this nigga is crazy. My driver like, bro, I knew it was that nigga because I seen that same car. I'm like, wow, bro, this shit is unbelievable. Like, them motherfuckers, I'm talking about this nigga had escorts, police escorts, studs. I ain't never seen that shit in 6 years. Them motherfuckers are high value. So Tyler doing what he doing, you gotta know. Man, look, for him to come, man, I don't know. I think he need to just go and come out. What you think? Who was that back there? I think he need to just go and come out.
I mean, he was never in. Man, if you can't tell me, man.
No, I'm saying like come out the closet.
Yeah. He never been in the closet.
What?
He always been this way.
So wait, you telling me Tyler telling them folks that he LMNOP? Nah, hell nah.
Yeah.
When?
All those Madea movies.
Man, that's like.
That told me everything I needed to know.
Bro, stop.
Everything I needed to know.
Oh shit. Bro, look, let me tell you something. The woman, see, they said, I don't know if y'all watched that show, Sisters. One of them women, she with the nigga, what's the boy name? I read it this morning. Zach. Whoever Zach is, his girlfriend.
In real life?
No, not in real life. No,
on the show.
He bro married.
Yeah, the football player.
She got big shoulders. What's her name? Zakina. What's her name?
Fatima.
Who?
Fatima.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Yeah, my mama watched that show.
Okay, so they said her and Tyler Perry were supposed to be together because for her birthday, he bought her like a bunch of motherfucking designer bags and Birkins and took her on like a 20-day vacation and she was in her thing and he was in his thing.
I heard she used to work for him.
That too. I heard that. What I read that part of the little shindig that I was going over this morning. Yeah, I seen that too. I seen that.
Like, yeah, she was like his personal assistant or stylist or something like that, and then he gave her a chance and she blew up.
Man, look, I'm trying to tell you, man.
What up, Foxy Noon?
Foxy Noon in this motherfucker. That shit wild as hell. Like, bruh. Now we know Tyler probably knocking some of them niggas down. You know what I'm saying? We know that for the price of fame. For the price of fame, Shanika, like stop the cap, bro. Like, why we gotta act like this shit ain't going on for real? You don't think so?
Yeah.
Some of them niggas know how to shut up. You feel me? I played the pre-recorded I did with Tasha K way back in the day on Shannon Sharp and the NFL players. Remember that shit? Them motherfuckers, goddamn me, is on a list and they paying like they wait. No bullshit.
Hey, but let me ask you this though. Oh shit. Damn. I forgot. I had my camera closed. Anyway, shit, my alarm. I got deer out back.
That motherfucker say deer out back
Hold on, my bad. Yeah, I gotta go.
hunting field.
I've had the deer just
Hunt
randomly strolling up
field.
in your backyard like they pay bills.
Shit, that's how, man. Look, my motherfucking our sister-in-law, goddamn, I think it's her uncle. That nigga live like, I think it's Memorial or some shit, but it's like in Houston, man. Bro, this nigga stay next door to motherfucking Shawnee O'Neal, goddamn, and that motherfucker shit. Bro, you talking about deer, man?
Yeah, nah. I'm actually like
Niggas
I'm
deer,
throwing
bro.
some vegetables out back. So I put a little trap alarm around it. So I got a little junk that beep off every time they show up.
Do it
Listen,
shock it?
nah, it
It's
just let me know. Nah, it just let me know, and then it just like it gives off like a dog
high
whistle.
frequency
Like
type
yeah,
noise.
yeah, that just run. Yeah. When they get too close, it
Like
runs
you
them
talking
off.
about.
Yeah.
Yep. I ain't gonna even hold you, Smitty. They got the damn near the same thing, but they ain't growing no vegetables. But she, man, bro, she got some flowers that the motherfucker like, but ain't no vegetable. And bro, it's like a little sensor. And every
Mm.
time that motherfucker get across that bitch, whoop, whoop, whoop,
Yep,
whoop, it
exactly.
sound like
Yeah.
a loud screeching ass noise that'll run their ass crazy.
Yeah, exactly. That's basically all I try to do. I ain't gonna lie, dog. I'm more humane, bro. I'm way
Nah,
more humane. Yeah. I don't like they just trying to do what they do naturally. I just want you to get away from my shit. Let me grow my stuff. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you. I feel you. What you growing back there?
I have mint leaves. I have cucumbers and tomatoes. Yeah, I'm growing some mint leaves, cucumbers, and tomatoes. And I'm gonna get some cilantro soon.
That's
Yeah.
real.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Shout out to the mint leaves. And you through. Brother's place, nigga.
Shortly thereafter, Mr. Dixon got a call from Perry's lawyer saying that Christmas had come early and that Dixon was getting a substantial raise and the show was greenlit. Perry's attorney explicitly warned Dixon not to tell any other actor on the show about Dixon's raise because no other actors were getting a raise, only Dixon. Later in the lawsuit, Dixon's lawyers write, in or around April 2022, before beginning to shoot the next season of The Oval, Perry called Dixon to discuss the June 2021 sexual assault. On the phone call, Perry lectured Dixon about how Dixon was overreacting to the sexual assault because of prior sexual assaults in Dixon's life. Perry said that there was a misunderstanding and miscommunication and that Dixon needed to say no stronger. In other words, Perry blamed Dixon for the sexual assault, claiming that Perry felt that Dixon's no was really a yes because Dixon did not say no strongly enough. Dixon
Wow. So the nigga got to yell to the moon or something. See, that's how I know they playing one of them cosplay scenes. Them niggas think they slick. Fun
But-
bun ass boy.
But what was kind of weird to me is that Perry lectured Dixon about how Dixon was overreacting to the essay because of prior essays in Dixon's life. How the fuck does he even know about this? How does he know? What the hell kind of conversations are y'all having where this man know about that type of trauma that has happened in your life, in your past?
Now look, let me tell you, they was sitting in the living room one night listening to Michael Jackson, "Human Nation," and yeah, he got vulnerable and he told him, yeah, that's what happened.
He's saying he felt like his no was really a yes. So,
Did you do me that way?
what was he doing to make his no seem like a yes? Like what boundary did he allow Tyler Perry to cross after he said no and still went along with it anyway? Because usually isn't that how you? Oh, I don't know. If somebody said no and you think it's a yeah, could it have been because of something that has happened in the past where they said no and then still did it anyway? Or are you just assuming that no could be yes because of their body language or something like that?
Ain't no fucking way. No means what? Sneak.
No.
Okay, so what the fuck?
In every language, ain't it? Or no, in German, I think in German or Russian is niet.
Yeah, shit, shit.
Uh,
Yeah,
but
shit,
other
shit.
than that, is no.
Yeah, shit, shit, too.
Shout out to Artifacts with the 199 super sticker. Appreciate you for donating to my dimple fund. Somebody else, come on. I just
You
need
know,
$2.
Hey,
You see how
I,
disrespectful employers can be?
my bad.
Go
Now,
ahead.
yeah, much respect. Can I tell a true story? Actually, real quick, like a short true story.
yeah, go ahead. You got.
All right, cool beans. All right, much respect. So this actually happened to me. So it's during my college days, and no, further. Yeah, okay. But goodness gracious, I'm getting old. Man, that felt like yesterday. All right, anyway. So in real life time, one day in my life, I had the capability of getting some. That's right. I had the capability of getting some. You know why I ain't getting none that night? Because while we were messing around, flirting, touching, playing fake tag, pillow fight, you know, the whole little flirtatious fun stuff. When I really started to go ahead and say, okay, I'm thinking to myself, I got the green light. You know what I'm saying? When I started to go ahead and proceed to go to that extra step, she said, oh no. Now, mind you, it really was that playful laugh. No. So I went on ahead and I backed off and I said, okay, all right, bet. So we both in the same place now, right? I'm just saying, right? So follow me. So come to find out, she hit my phone up the next day and she like, you missed out. I said, missed out on what? She said, boy, you could have got some of this good. I say, what are you talking about? Like, you know, I already told you off jump, like my energy is your energy. So whatever type mode you going in, like whatever direction you taking it into, I'm gonna take it in that direction and or fall back. You know what I'm saying? She say, nah, you supposed to go ahead and go through with it. Hold T. That whole no, watch to land it. She said, boy, you stupid. I only said that because I didn't want to seem easy. How you didn't know?
Damn.
So I'm saying, listen, anomaly, not whatever. I'm just saying I actually went through that before, but yeah, I ain't get the cheeks because just like how we just talked about. Once she said that, I went right with my gut instinct. Come to find out, nah, she was playing games the whole time. I digress. My mic is muted. Respect to the family.
Yeah, that's very dangerous.
It is, right? Very slippery slope, and I ain't even want to play with it. Plus, look, right? Plus, you know, we was sipping and toking too. So I know, like, you know, intoxications are involved. Nah, I ain't playing with you.
Yeah, like it did just. I don't know, like, and you know, I'm definitely not gonna speak on her character because I don't know her, but that just seems very dangerous to have that type of mindset. Like, yeah, I said one thing, but I really meant something else. Like, how could that translate into other, you know,
Shanika,
parts of your life where it's like you, sure.
Shanika, I'm gonna take it there. I really don't even want to hear that, shout. You want to know why? Because when you say that's a dangerous mindset, you know what I've always thought is a dangerous mindset? The chick that while you on top digging the dog out of her, she takes your wrist and puts it towards her throat and she wants you to squeeze it. That's right. Is that not a dangerous mindset? Nah, real talk though. I really be wondering about that. Where did that come from? I'm dead ass. So if we talking about it in that sense, when it comes to that, I mean, there's a lot of things that are not safe. That is a prime example. Nah,
But
that's a
see,
prime example, Shanika. Something
I
wrong
understand what you're
with the
saying, but
shit
I
that
feel like
should be
it's.
shown.
I think it's a little different where you're talking about somebody that enjoys pain versus somebody that's saying my mouth is gonna say one thing, but I really mean something else. Like,
Mm,
you know what I'm saying? Like that's just like me saying no, I'm not. I don't want. Well, excuse me. If I said, well, yeah, I want you to put it in my booty, and then you put it in my booty and it hurt, and then now I'm ready to, you know what I'm
mm.
saying, crash out over that. It is like, but you asked for that
I
when
can't
you
let
really didn't want it type shit. Like that wasn't a good example, but I'm just saying, like, I think it's
Mm,
different when I'm sitting here saying, like, nah, I just lied because I didn't want you to look at me a certain type of way, but I really wanted what I lied and said that I didn't want versus me saying, like, hey, I want you to bite my shoulders because I just like pain, or you know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's different. I don't know if I
Shanika.
communicated that as well as it made
No,
sense in my mind, but
uh,
I think it's
I actually get where you're no, I get the point that you're advocating. It's not about whether or not agree. No, I get what it is that you're expressing. I do get it. I get the portrait that you painted. I'm with you. I see the picture. Okay. My whole thing is when it comes to the root reason as to whatever it is that you were speaking about in the example that I just gave, I want you to now tell me what's the difference in the root cause of each. Or is it not the damn near same almost all the way around the board 9 times out of 10? The root cause as to how they even get to that point in the first place.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're
Read.
saying.
I digress. My mic is muted. Respect to the family.
Yeah, I understand that now. Yeah. Dang.
nigga, you a nasty little motherfucker. I
Oh
don't know
my God.
how the hell you went down the rabbit hole with that motherfucker.
No, drip.
Now,
Do
Smitty,
that.
now,
Niggas not
Smitty,
nasty. No, she.
Smitty. I got it. She know what time
Wow.
it is. I said what the fuck I said. What up, Kills? And so what? You know it. Stop playing. Anyway, Kills. Shout out to the chat. What the chat doing? I'm on this
Vibing
motherfucker. They
and
vibing. They
donating to my
talking shit.
Dimple Fund.
Hell
$2.
nah. Ain't
And
nobody
you
donating
through.
to that motherfucker.
2 and you through. 2
Uh,
and you through.
ain't nobody donating to this shit.
Come on,
I told you what
twins.
to do.
Let my cheeks be twins.
I told you what to do. Go get a piercing on that motherfucker and
I don't want the
or go
piercing
get a
though.
toothpick. Go get a toothpick and stick it through that motherfucker. Or like one of them piercer things and just stick it through that motherfucker and just let it heal kind of.
This nigga said go get a sewing needle.
That's how they used to pierce ears.
Ah, shit. He said go to Michael's. Go to Michael's.
You go to the nail shop. Shit.
See, let me
Pierce your
see
shit.
Jet,
Oh my god.
because you missed it. So let me get a spill to all the new watchers. You know what I'm saying? Right
Man,
now,
your ass ain't
are
no-
collecting donations to my dimple fund because I only have one dimple and I feel like I was supposed to have 2. And so it costs 4 stacks to get to get dimple surgery, right? But I only need 1, so I shouldn't have to pay the full price. So I only need 2 stacks, and I'm asking everybody to contribute towards my dimple fund because you should have 0 or you should have 2, but you shouldn't have 1. And I want to be called Dimples, but Reese said I can't be called Dimples. I can only be called Dimp because I got 1, and I want to be called Dimples. So I'm asking everybody to give $2
we ain't gonna call you that neither.
towards my dimple fund so I can have 2 matching dimples.
We not calling you Dimples anyway. What
Yes,
was it like
you
calling
are.
you
Right,
motherfucking
watch,
Dimples?
watch. Wait till
What you
I
supposed
get
to
my
be?
other dimple, and I'm telling you,
Supposed to
that's
be like
gonna
a
be my
Disney
whole
star or something?
personality.
Dimples? Like what?
That's gonna be my whole personality, dimples.
Please.
Yes.
Yeah. Whoever
So-
calls a nigga Dimples be blocking your ass. Period.
See, haters.
They ain't calling you no grown ass woman no goddamn dimples.
How y'all call a grown ass man, Buddy Debo from Friday? Everybody called him Tiny.
That's
y'all
that man's real name. That was his
Oh,
real name.
his name was Lester, wasn't it, or
No,
something
it's
else?
Tiny Lester. You tweaking?
Oh, that was his real name. Okay, well, damn,
No
I take
bullshit.
it. But still, you can still call me Dimples.
Yeah. Good luck.
Watch.
I'm gonna call you Shanika. This is what it is. I don't
Ain't
think I
gonna
can say
turn around, then you gonna say Dimples, and I'll be like,
no
ah,
the fuck. I'm like
what's
nigga.
up?
That's what I'm
What's
saying. Nigga. Yeah, I ain't got nothing.
Thank you. It's 2025. I can identify as whatever I want to. So if I
Okay,
want to be
well,
called Dimples, call
yeah.
me Dimples. But I need the other one, so I just
I'm
need
calling you
$2.
what the fuck. I'm
$2.
calling you.
$2 to
That's it.
contribute towards my dimple fund, and I promise you.
They ain't got
Shanika,
it.
Let me take, I don't want to have the good side. I want both sides. You know what I'm saying? I always got to smile on the dimple side. And, you know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm flogging. So help me.
You flogging. Oh,
Yeah, because people be thinking I got dimples because I'm always taking pictures from the dimple side. And it's like, nah, I just got one.
It's catfish. Just call it for what it is.
Okay, so help me not catfish no more. $2.
That's a good, unique catfish, though, Shanika.
$2
It's
super
unique.
sticker.
It's unique. You got one. That means you really in the middle.
I'm trying to figure out, does that go one way just for the ladies? As far as like, if that's what you want to be called. Last time I checked, I've been popping up everywhere I know, even my own damn panel. It's Mr. Seven. You niggas still call me Smitty. Listen, okay? I'm just saying, like, I've been trying to be identified as something else myself, okay? All right.
Your mama named you Smitty, I'ma call you Smitty.
Okay, fine. Listen. But see,
What
the
do you
thing,
want to be called?
but see, the thing is, you talk about something that's old. See, back in the day, there's no way for me to move forward, and you keep, still talking about the past.
Okay, so what's moving forward?
Be a
what
symbol.
we doing?
After Mr. Seven, it's just gonna be a symbol.
What we doing now? It's gonna be called Seven Love. That was gonna be Seven Love.
Seven Love. You better
Seven
stop
Love
it.
on your motherfucking name.
Stop it.
You know what? You niggas.
Now, who was that? What was the other? The basketball player, Better World Peace. Like, if you don't get the
Ron
fuck out here,
Ron Artest. Yeah. Boy, Metal. That boy was talking about Metal a long time ago. God damn.
I heard Yeezy changed his name again. I mean, not wait, Yeezy Kanye. Yeah, I heard he going by something else now, like yeah or something.
Wim Whammy. Wim Whammy.
All right, but there we go. All right, boom.
Shout out to Mr. Seven.
There we go. I don't want to hear that.
Ooh.
Address me.
What was that group called? After Seven?
Come from, Smitty?
No, After Seven. Then R&B group.
Ow.
That was a cool little group. I ain't gonna lie to you.
After Seven?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was Babyface, wasn't it?
One of them, I think. Or was it two of them in that group? I think one of them.
Mr. Seven, yes.
See,
if you're nasty.
Listen.
But now Snake Eyes, Selma on the first row.
I need my entire pronoun to be pronunciated in its entirety. Thank you. That's Mr. Lovin' Seven, keeping her in heaven. Thank you. All right. So let's make sure that my entire pronoun, since we want to go ahead.
I'm gonna interrupt your goddamn pronoun with the bomb. Ain't no man better not address this nigga as no goddamn Mr. Happy Seven hit the lottery.
Hit the heaven, like I'm trying to be in the gutter and you trying to be in heaven. Like, dang, it makes me feel bad. Like, we can't do that. We can't do that. No.
Shit.
No.
We
go call you bullshit. He said his name is Kunta. Dog, we gonna call you Toby. Like, that's how niggas say. We gonna call you. Gonna call you. Like, ain't that some bullshit? We just be renaming people.
Renaming like a motherfucker. Shit.
Mr. Lovin' Seven.
Yeah. I can't do that. No Toby, no none of that. Definitely.
Lover man, Shabba.
Yes. Ladies love Lovin' Seven.
Ladies love Seven. Ladies love the jackpot.
See, there y'all go, trying to make up ringtones and shit. You know. I ain't mad at you. So what's up with this shit highlighted in yellow?
That's pretty much a part of the what they call that shit in court? The document, call it an affidavit or the docket or whatever. Yeah, that's what they read.
The charges.
Yeah. So no means no, everybody. No means no. Even if you even if they may be saying a no in the, kind of way to make you think that they, really mean yeah, take it as a no.
Oh, how is
Let
it?
communicate
How
exactly
that
what it
sound,
is.
Sneaker?
What?
How that sound? The no really mean the 7. How that sound?
The no minute what?
What?
I said the no meaning 7. Lord Jesus, the no meaning
Yeah, that's
yes.
all.
I know, right?
Damn, I'm looking at Smitty's name and I'm trying to ask goddamn question at the same time. No,
I-
the no meaning yes.
You know what I'm saying? That's for the ladies, Drip. That's for the ladies.
No, I got you.
Okay, now.
Yes, nigga. How does that sound? The no meaning yes.
Stop.
You still said stop.
Right, but the way that
You
I
don't think
said
that would kind of alert a little bit?
stop. Don't put my underwear off. Like, and then they're lifting their pelvis.
Right. Facts.
Okay.
Big facts.
Now,
Big
the
facts.
physical. See, I said how it sounded. Now you added the lifting your pelvis. Okay, yeah, that's something totally different, guys.
Big
Right.
facts.
No.
But you still
Stop. Like, no,
you got
like,
your mouth hands. Yeah.
yeah, it ain't that certain. Nah, nigga. No. Like, you don't get that. It's that no. Like, yeah,
Long live baby daddy. Yeah.
gassing him up.
Long live baby daddy. Bro, we need to start like a radio morning podcast. No bullshit, bro. Where we just talking shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, not even on the visual, just straight audio, like on Apple Music and shit. That'll be flat.
And for the longest, that's what I always thought people were talking about when they talked about podcasts. I didn't even realize they were talking about YouTube because I never knew any of this shit existed.
Yeah,
You ain't the only one. You ain't the only one.
I
My-
never knew.
My shit only consisted of bushcraft camping stuff, nature facts, and music. That's primarily about it.
My shit was different.
Nature facts, animals, and music. That was it. And then all of a sudden, you niggas start popping up out of nowhere.
It wasn't me. It wasn't
One
me.
day.
Wasn't me. Nah.
Yeah, I was, same here. Like hair videos, music videos, cooking videos. Like it was always something like that.
Cool.
And then,
Ain't that a bitch? Damn. Oh, I'm sorry.
well, you better. Okay. Okay. But,
Because she was looking at cooking at Kaya before Kaya came.
Yeah, man. We were looking at Martha Stewart. The fuck? With Snoop Dogg on that motherfucker.
With Martha.
Cooking
Hey!
with Martha is crazy. Lord Jesus. That's wild. For real.
Hey, man.
hey, shit. He just sitting there rocked up. Either she hop on it or she don't.
Real shit.
Can you imagine sitting on the couch and then you just look over and then you see a just bricked up like
What? You better hum just like you just hummed. Hum. God damn it. The fuck?
like how did that happen? You
Come
tried
on.
to look over. Come on, man.
What up, Taylor Bill?
That's
This motherfucker. What
wild.
up, Shiesty?
Easy.
Look, Shiesty say I don't love them hoes. She crazy as hell.
That's wild. But he said, make sure that your no sound like a no, and you're through.
Yeah, it gotta be a no. It's gotta be a no, man. It's gotta be a no. You can't be with the bullshit.
strongly enough. Dixon says he finally, quote, woke up to the fact that Perry was allegedly stringing him along about working with him on his own show to keep him
woke up.
around to be sexually harassed. In
Stringing him
He
along.
woke up.
He
Nigga,
woke up. If you wouldn't have known that this was a man,
Oh shit. That's hilarious.
that's wild.
That's hilarious.
Child.
2024, Dixon reported Perry's alleged conduct to the EEOC, the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. According to the lawsuit, after reporting the sexual harassment, defendants, which is Perry and his studio, did not make any investigation into the complaint and did not take any steps to prevent further harassment from occurring. Because defendants took no action to prevent further assault or harassment, Dixon had to quit his job working on the last season of The Oval. Dixon did so even though he was under contract to finish filming and stood to make close to $400,000. Dixon did not want to be sexually harassed or be placed in danger of a sexual assault again.
I wonder what made him wake up.
I actually want to know this one question. Um,
All right,
what,
Foxy Moon.
I actually want to know this. Do you thinking about that? Do you think that it's easier for a man to manipulate a woman into a sexual act as opposed to a man manipulating another man into a sexual act on the average? Or do you think that if the man is manipulative, he's manipulative? Because that just kind of threw me off as far as like, what are they talking about? Like, so, because I don't know. Like, I'm wondering, am I wrong for feeling bad? Am I wrong for like not feeling bad? Should I say, as far as like, bro, you a grown ass man. How you get, you know what I'm saying? Like, how you let another dude, you know what I'm saying, trick bag you in a circumstance like that is all I'm basically saying.
Yeah, because y'all the logical creatures and we're the emotional ones, right?
I don't know who told you that, Shanika,
Ooh.
but okay.
YouTube.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, YouTube University.
That's all.
Shout out YouTube University. I
I don't know if I could say what would be easier, but I think that it would hit different with a man because I think that you would be more inclined, and not you as an individual, but just men would be more inclined to be quiet and secretive, whereas a woman, I think that she'll blast you faster. And I think that the manipulation, is tied into the shame, for the same reason why men don't speak out on, essay events right now, because it hit different when a man say he been assaulted versus a woman. And I think that leverage of like, yeah, you want everybody to know you a power bottom, like, you know what I'm saying, like, I'm gonna be quiet. Whereas with a woman, what can you really hold over her head other than I'm gonna tell everybody you a hoe, or like, you know what I'm saying, like it hit different. Like, I don't know, but that's just me.
It's not. Well, that's not the way I was going. What I'm saying specifically is when it comes to, because I heard in there, like, okay, he was like manipulated into whatever. Now, when it comes to a man to a woman, I don't know why, for whatever reason, I guess my mind gears more towards maybe naturally. I can see how that could happen, to do finessing, swindling, however you want to call it, right? Grooming, brainwashing. But it's like man to man. The only thing that goes through my mind is like, bro, how you not know the tricks that we use? You know what I'm saying? It's like you should know everything behind the scenes here. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm basically saying. But I digress. My mic is muted.
I don't know if I want to necessarily say he was like tricked into doing some sexual things that he wasn't into. I think the manipulation just came into him, because I feel like in these situations, everybody wants something, right? Or both parties want something, and it's an imbalance when only one person is getting what they want. And in those situations, like with his situation, like he wanted that show, and he wanted everything that came along with it. And it's like, just like with any other situation, like, why are you sticking around for this? Like, because he wanted it that bad. Just like with the diddler, like, some people look at Cassie and be like, she stuck around because she really wanted that fame. Not saying that that's how I feel. I'm just saying, like, I've heard people say that, like, yeah, she just really wanted to be famous that bad, or not even taking them out of it. Just anybody in general. It's like, I want to get over on you, and then you beat me to the punch. That's a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. But I feel like he was holding that over his head. Like, hey, you want to be a star? Then
Oh, so you feel it was like a being held over his head more so than the example I was given. Okay, I can understand that. That's all.
Yeah. Like, you wanted that. How bad do you want it? Type shit.
Okay. Respect to that.
Because that's why people, they say you sell your soul or whatever. You like, you want to be famous that bad that you're willing to, these quote unquote rituals, the shaming rituals, and all this other stuff that they say happens or whatever. Like, I don't know, but I don't because I don't know if I don't know if I feel like he was manipulated, and that's why I'm saying that. I feel like he knew full well what the hell was going on, and it wasn't until he felt like he wasn't getting what he wanted for the price that he wanted to pay, then it turned into a problem. Because see, I think that he probably thought he could, get over on Tyler. Like, yeah, I'm good looking. I know you a little zesty. I'm gonna flirt with you a little bit, just like with women. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna flirt with you a little bit, get a couple free dinners, maybe some jewelry or a new set of tires, or allegedly. I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about other people. But you know what I'm saying? You do the mercy flirt to get what you can get, and then when you find out that he took advantage of you, now it's a problem.
I see what you're saying. Okay. No,
Because what he's waking up from, what he woke up. You realize that you wasn't getting, what you thought you was gonna get.
Right.
And now you mad.
Okay. Now
I think.
Chanel, go ahead, beloved. Forgive me.
No, you're good. I was just gonna say, I think at the end of the day, it just sounds like predatory behavior. Period. Point blank. End of story. That's my opinion.
Do you feel like both of them were attempting to be predators?
If only one person was giving whatever or handing this person this part or dangling it in their face was to either loosen them up, groom them, whatever you want to call it, into having some sort of sexual relationship with you when they ordinarily wouldn't, then yes, that's predatory. But I don't think it's predatory behavior to try to get a job. I don't see how it could be predatory that way. If the guy, the handsome white guy, was trying to get a job and he's, doing all that he's doing, I wouldn't call that predatory behavior. I think that's average anybody looking for a job behavior. It's like, how can I get a leg up? But if you're handing or dangling something in front of someone's face so that they could eventually loosen up to do something they wouldn't ordinarily do, like some sort of sexual act with you, then that's predatory behavior. To me, that's my opinion.
Do you think that he? Well, I don't know. I guess I'm a pessimist and a hater. Like, I'm not 100% sure that Tyler Perry made a straight man gay. Like, that's my only thing. I don't know if this is necessarily something that he wouldn't do.
Well, my only thing is, and I only learned this in the past few months, that like I think they call it gay for pay, or while they're in prison they might be this, but they really not that type of thing. So I don't really know. I'm not a man, so I can't really speak from that type of, and I'm not gay either or bisexual, so I don't really know. But I'm just simply saying from the perspective of, you're a producer or you're some sort of, mogul with a whole lot of money. And you know that you have these people out here, like you guys were saying, who will give up everything to have their one dream in life come true. And you know, like you guys were saying, manipulate them into doing something they wouldn't naturally do, or that's against some sort of law or policy or whatever, then to me, again, that's predatory behavior. If the end is to, get something out of them that the law would say is not right, your company most likely would say is not right. They're here, they're supposed to be talented, and they're supposed to be judged on their merit and all that kind of stuff, or their true talent, or whatever it is, then that's supposed to, be the qualifier for them getting the job. We all know that ain't the truth. But I'm just saying, in this case, that's supposed to be what it is. So to me, if you're doing that and you're just trying to get this man or woman to have sex with you, then that to me is predatory behavior.
I understand what you're saying. My personal opinion, right, as someone that's not licensed in the mind or those types of positions, I feel like sometimes you can have two people that are predators, and then one person may have the better advantage or position or leverage over the other person, to where it can become problematic once the lesser of the two realizes that they've been outmatched. And it kind of makes me think about those girls that go after the rappers, and they go and they sneak into the hotel room, or they jumping fences and they doing the most and all of this other stuff, because they have it in their mind, like, I'm going to use you for money or, whatever. And then when the rapper hunched them and then put the hot sauce in the condom and they can't get the baby, now they want to sue. Where it's like, you were trying to be a predator and take advantage of him, and then he just beat you to the punch. And so that's what I meant by, like, do you think it's possible that both of them could have been predators? Like, I saw an opportunity because I know Tyler Perry's a little sweet, and I know I'm good looking, and so I'm gonna try to use that to my advantage. And what did 2 Cents say? And mercy flirt, or whatever. Like, I'm gonna flirt with him to try to get what I want, and then get caught up to the point where you're in too deep, and now you quote unquote woke up and realized that he wasn't going to give you the TV show that he said he was going to give you, and now you want to sue.
Well, I could say, anybody could be predatory or manipulative or whatever, but the thing about stuff like this, in my opinion, is that, it really doesn't matter in the court of law what you believe or think. It just matters what you could prove. So if Tyler Perry really was being, stalked or whatever it is, preyed on by this actor or whatever talented person, if he could prove it, then, it is what it is, and vice versa.
Shiesty, we played a part of the video where they were saying that the gentleman, I don't remember his name, but the guy, Dixon was recanting a situation where he was with Tyler, and Tyler was drunk, and he ripped his clothes off, grabbed his butt, and then proceeded to take something, and then he tried to push him away to say no, and Tyler grabbed his wrists and tried to restrain him, and the only way that Dixon was able to escape was by changing the subject really quickly. And so that, is the assault, or at least a part of it. And I think another one was via text or something like that. He said something to him that was out of pocket, and then he called him and apologized. And then he got the lawyer called him all of a sudden, and it was like, yeah, you finna get a big raise and, all this other shit or whatever. So that's, where they're saying the assault came in, like, because I think assault isn't necessarily always physical. And so, it was just in conversation. But see, these aren't the screenshots. This is, the little docket or whatever. But the screenshots that I saw, they were both talking to each other like that. You'd think that they had been best friends for, like, or not best friends, but they that they had a very close relationship. Even earlier, they were saying that Tyler Perry, was getting on him, like, you only looking at it like sexual assault because of, you were essayed in the past. And I was just like, how does he even know that? Because they were having those types of intimate conversations, between one another. And that's why I was like, why are you talking to your boss like that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. So I can't really say, what really actually happened, but it just seemed like he may have been an opportunist, that didn't get the opportunity that he wanted. And this could just be him, being upset because he felt like he was being led on. But yeah, so because the defendants took no action to prevent further assault or harassment, so he filed a complaint with the EEOC, and Tyler Perry and his team ain't do shit. They just ignored it. And so he ended up quitting because he didn't want to prevent further assault or harassment. And so I don't know, maybe he was a young, naive person. He was selling the script to Tyler Perry. Like, that was the whole jug. Like, he was trying to get him a TV show, and Tyler was like, yeah, we're going to do the show. We're going to do the show. We're going to, I got you. And he never got the show. And so I'm like, he definitely was there for a reason, but I don't know. He's a victim. Your victim.
or be placed in danger of a sexual assault again. Defendant then retaliated against Dixon. Defendant told Dixon if he quits and told the other actors why he quit, he would be in breach of his contract. Defendants told Dixon that the only way out was to portray his departure from the show as a medical leave due to the emotional distress caused by the sexual harassment. Instead, defendant made the leave of absence unpaid and therefore terminated plaintiff's employment, causing Dixon additional loss of income and insult. But Tyler Perry is fighting back. In a statement, an attorney for Perry reportedly said the allegations are a, quote, scam. The attorney went on to say, "We are confident these fabricated claims of harassment will fail." The attorney, who according to TMZ is identified as Matthew Boyd, said in full, "This is an individual who got close to Tyler Perry for what now appears to be nothing more than setting up a scam. But Tyler will not be shaken down, and we are confident these fabricated claims of harassment will fail." Joining us now.
So I don't know. The only thing that makes me feel like Dixon might actually have some shit, like some serious proof, like, you know what I'm saying, like a strong case, one, because they actually the lawyers accepted it, so clearly they see where, you know, they could possibly have a legitimate case. But just the simple fact that he is going to get blackballed like a motherfucker in Hollywood. Like, you ain't finna get no job nowhere after this. So I would hope that, you know, after making these types of allegations, that he has everything that he needs to substantiate it. Because I don't want to say he could kiss his acting career goodbye, but a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it'll definitely have people looking at him some type of way, as far as it could affect the future relationships that he may have with other, you know, directors and producers and things like that. Oh, Sensei sound like he was already blackballed. Maybe. I don't know. But that's the only thing that made me feel like maybe it's some merit to his claims, because we all know how that go. Like, once you get labeled a snitch, you know, snitches get stitches. I don't know. I don't know. If Tyler sold Robert Platinum, do you think that'll make him appear guilty? I think that's why they ignored it the first time, because once you acknowledge it, you just automatically guilty. Who, like, whether it's true or not? Like, nah, I'm gonna just ignore you. But they didn't. But did they do like a? I don't know, child. Child, like it. What up, Kills? You back? Kills. I'm still laughing at that Pop Smoke joke. Man, that shit was hilarious. Oh, man.
What Pop Smoke joke? I was on mute the whole time. Damn.
The other day we was talking about when we was reviewing the video with Hink and Lapeef, and Kills was like, they not, because somebody was trying to say like they hunching the Pookies and the Ray Rays or something or another, like to that extent, and Kills like, nah, they fucking on the niggas that look like Pop Smoke, like. And I don't know why that was funny to me, but it was like, yeah.
This nigga crazy.
They ain't going for the bastard electrician. They want the Pop Smoke.
That was crazy.
American Stranger said that's correct. It's similar to Drake attempting a lawsuit against UFG. Like, what are we doing here? Like, you finna sue the boss and you think you finna do the job? That's just like, you gonna quit the job and then come back and reapply 6 months later, like you thought they forgot? Oh, Chakra said he a white boy, he'll be fine. Yeah, maybe, probably. But yeah, I don't know. I think that, yeah, I don't know. He might have a little merit though, but that's why he asked for $260 million too. Like, yeah, you better ask for an amount that'll have you set for life, because otherwise you're gonna be in somebody's office talking about T-Mobile.
Can you hear me, Shanika?
Hey, now I can hear you. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What you?
Yo, this phone tripping, bro.
Oh,
Tripping,
oh,
man. It need a whole new router. Need a whole new router, and I ain't gonna get my router until tomorrow.
yeah. Yeah, just go back on route. We're gonna try it again. When you move and connect to another tower, then we
Oh, another towel.
Now, as former
Good
federal
Lord.
prosecutor and president of West Coast Trial Lawyers, Nemo Romani, thank you for taking the time, as always, to be with us here on Law and Crime. I know we're still gathering information about exactly what Derek Dixon is accusing Tyler Perry of, but from what we know right now, how strong of a case does it seem that he has?
Boy, I hear all the jokes now. Like, don't be named Derek Dixon. And then sue another man for sexual assault.
Not Derek Dixon is crazy, right?
Because when he just said it, I just had a joke in my head.
For real. That's crazy, right?
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Chris, thanks for having me. Really breaking news today. Bombshell lawsuit against Tyler Perry, and information is coming in, but it does seem to be a strong case, at least in terms of the text messages. Sometimes in these sexual harassment cases, really the harassment.
Oh dang, you went too far. Because I'm like, let me back it up to this lawyer. Is it me or does his head not match his body? Am I tripping? I'm probably tripping. Why his head look extra large and his body looks medium? It could be the suit. Like what? Like you know when they be showing them little AIs and then they make the head look really really large and then it's a regular size body. Like I don't know. That's what this is giving. Like where's your neck, buddy? Like I don't know. It just look weird.
Lord,
okay, I'm done. Sorry, Niama. It's just jokes.
Seem to be a strong case, at least in terms of the text messages. Sometimes in
It's
sexual
large
harassment
head
cases, really the harassing behavior happens behind closed doors, and it's a he said, he